Hey guys, and welcome to another video. So today I'm going to be answering your questions. I asked on my Instagram @_ManishaP for any questions you have about medicine, about Bristol, about just how I'm doing. And I will apologise because I asked this like maybe a month ago, but just getting the chance to sit down and film a video is somehow taken really long, so I'm really sorry about that. For those who don't know, I am a first year medical student at the University of Bristol. I also took 2 gap years and reset my A-levels to get here, so I'm a little bit older. So yeah, that's that. Let's get on with the questions. So the first person asked, how are you finding FOM? So this is someone I imagine who's quite familiar with Bristol and medicine. So FOM is Foundations of Medicine, and it's kind of how the first 2 months of our medical course is taught. And how am I finding it? I found it really well. We kind of finished today. Actually, we had a small kind of lecture, which was like a finishing, like how did you find it kind of thing. And I really liked it. One of my main worries, I think, coming into medicine was, would it be very science heavy? Like, would it just be lots of kind of biology and chemistry and things shoved in my face? And although I did resit my A-levels, that was a year ago. So for the last kind of year, I haven't had to do anything kind of academic. And so I think I was really worried that I would feel really behind and that you would have all these like 18-year-olds straight out of school knowing their stuff, and like I didn't want that. And luckily it's been quite a nice pace. And so for example, we do have biochem, but a lot of it is things that you did at A-level, just a bit harder. So it doesn't feel too difficult. And then anatomy is new for everyone. And there's been loads and loads of new information and things, but it's kind of like portions which are quite digestible, and it's quite good to kind of keep on top of. You also have, you have biochem, anatomy, you have effective consulting, so you have a GP, you have a small group, you talk about different kind of tips and tricks that work with consulting. You have effective consulting in your GP, so you have a GP placement where you kind of sit and you get to kind of sit in on patient appointments, you get to do home visits, which is really good. We have behavioural social sciences, which is kind of like looking at like ideas and other things that affect people's health and just being aware of that. We have ethics, so different kind of ethical viewpoints, I guess, and how that can influence your decisions. You have histology, basically there's loads of different kind of things in FOM, and I personally have found it quite nice, quite varied. It's a mix of like lectures with like 280 people to tutorial groups with like 12 people, and you're able to kind of talk and ask questions and really get to like know the people you're working with. So yeah, basically it's been going really well. It's nice. Someone asked, how do you manage a work-life balance? Good question. This is where I think having the 2 years out has really helped. I feel like when I look at kind of my schedule, like I've got my trusty little diary here. I've got all my like lectures and whatevers, and currently we've got between like 15 to 20 contact hours, and so that might, it's not too much, it doesn't feel like too much right now. But on top of that, I'm still managing to like go check out talks and events at the uni. I'm doing like Bollywood dance classes at the Society. I'm going on nights out with friends. Like I feel like I've kind of know, and I think, like I said, with the 2 years out, I feel like I've been able to almost know my limit. Like I know when I haven't worked and I still have like effort and like energy to work, and I'm like, okay, Manisha, go do some work, you can do it. But on the flip side, I know when I'm like, I have work to do, but this is me like saturated and I need a rest. So I don't know, I feel like I found it, like at the start it was a bit odd, because I think you aren't at school, when you have like deadlines and homework and you know what you have to do each night. Whereas at university, it's very much you do what you feel like you need to do, which can be a bit daunting, especially at the start of the term. I was like, right, what do I do tonight? Whereas now I'm like, well, I know what I've got to do. I just need to get on with it, kind of thing. But I feel like, I found my pace. I found my kind of routine, and it's going well, I think. How does it feel to be finally at uni? Is it strange after being at home for a few extra years? Right now, 2 months in, it feels pretty standard. It feels like I've been here forever and this is all normal. In September, when I kind of started, I remember sitting like on my bed, literally being like, oh my god, I'm at university, guys, this is it, oh my gosh. And definitely feeling, I think there'll be moments when I'm like walking in Bristol and I was like, I can't believe I'm actually here, like kind of pinched me moments. And I think that might make me more focused, I guess. I feel like because I've worked really hard, and I'm not discrediting anyone else who's come straight from school, of course you've worked hard, but I think it's like I've like, I don't know, the 2 extra years, like I know how much of myself I had to give to get onto this course kind of thing, and so it's made me appreciate it quite a bit, like I think more than say if I came straight from like A-levels. And so I'm really keen to just take everything, and I think that comes with opportunities and like events and talks. I'm like, I just want to get stuck in really, especially like I think once again, because I haven't done academics for a year, it's made me want to be like anything, any new information, I just want to learn more about it, which is nice. Hopefully that stays, I don't know, maybe it's a fad, who knows. But yeah, it was weird at the start to be here at uni, but now it feels pretty normal, pretty standard. Like, I don't know, I suppose, although I was at home, like things like I always cook for myself anyway, or like, you know, if I quite enjoy cooking, that's something I would do, or like, so it doesn't feel super weird. It doesn't feel like a massive shock or anything. It feels quite a nice transition. How are you finding Bristol? I'm loving Bristol. Honestly, I really am. Like there are moments when I'm like, I don't know which other uni I would like rather be at. You know, having said that, I'm sure any uni I would have enjoyed. But there's something about this city that I just really, really love. I really like it, especially because although I'm from like the suburbs of London, especially in my last 2 years, if I was working, a lot of it was going into central London, if I was going to see a show or go for a meal or whatever. So central London is kind of like my hub. And so it does feel weird to kind of downscale, because I don't know if there's any city in the UK which kind of is on the same level of everything that London has. It's the capital. So it's always going to feel slightly smaller. But having said that, Bristol still feels busy. I think I really like that. At the uni, there's always things and talks and events and stuff going on, but also just outside in the city, there are random things, and like, I love my accommodation. I'm so close. I'm like 5-minute walk to the main kind of high street, if you like. There are plenty of shops. There are loads of great places for food, great nightlife. It just feels like an exciting place to be. And yeah, I really, really like it. It's been really good. I don't like the hills and that it rains a lot, but I feel like it's raining everywhere right now. But other than that, I really, really love Bristol. How is it taught? Is it spiral, case-based, or TBL? I don't know what TBL is. So case-based, or CBL, is how our course is taught, and actually I start that next week, so I don't have like loads of information on it. For those who don't know, so with med you can maybe be taught, I'm trying to remember all the ways. I feel like I used to know this off the top of my head during interviews, and now I'm like, how is it taught? So you had PBL, problem-based learning, CBL, case-based learning. Do you just, is lectures? Is that just like a way it's missed? I don't know. Anyway, CBL is you have your small tutorial groups. At the start of the week, you're given like a case, and it's quite like a lot of context. So patient X, who's this many years old, is suffering from XYZ pain in this place, blah, blah, blah. This is how it's affecting, things like that. And the idea is you investigate what's going on with that patient with your group. So you basically, you work out your roles, you decide what you want to like look into and research about, go home, research, come back, talk it, and then hopefully I think at the end of 2 weeks, you'll have an idea. But alongside that, you'll have like lectures about things relating to it, so it kind of feeds in and keeps you on track. I don't know how is it going to be. I might hate it, I might love it. I really love my group though. My CBL group is the same group that I've had since the beginning of term, and I love them all. They're so, so lovely. And so yeah, that's kind of how it's taught. Hopefully it works. I know it's that thing where some people find it, like, I think the idea of it can be a bit worrying, because you're like, oh, it's so kind of self-led or like group-led, that how do you know you're on the right track, and how do you know you're getting all the info you need to get? But I mean, loads of unis use it. It seems to be a pretty good way of learning. So I don't know, we'll see. how are you revising and how much do you do? So, I don't know, revising wise, I haven't been doing like revision, so to say. I would say, so at the start of the year, if I had a lecture, I would try, you know, go to the lecture, make my notes at the lecture, come back, and then I've been doing like little flashcards, just like summarizing the information, and any things that were like new to me, write it down. And then, as you can see here, this is my little anatomy wall. This is, I don't know, I sometimes find this is actually quite good. So we always have like a lecture, and then after the lecture we have like a week later we have a session in the DR or dissection room. And at the DR you're focusing on what you did at that lecture. And so what I always like to do is, it's quite nice to familiarize myself. Like I can be like, and I just kind of literally sit here staring at these like images and saying it out loud. It's kind of like teaching aloud, and that's kind of a technique that I use during my A levels, and that just makes sure. And if I'm not able to teach something, I probably don't understand it, so therefore I need to do more work. It's quite like a nice way of testing yourself. So that's kind of how I'm doing it. I don't know, there are pretty good resources. Like I look at the lecture notes, I look at tutorials if they're available online, I use YouTube videos, I use my friends. And that's kind of how I'm doing it. Just going over stuff, making sure I understand it, using all the resources the uni gives, and just keeping on top of it, I think, more than anything. So even if I'm not like 10 out of 10 on every topic, if I'm like a 7, I feel a bit more like confident at least. And so that's kind of how I'm doing it. Has taking 2 years out been advantageous or a hindrance? I don't know if it's been particularly advantageous. Like I wouldn't say, oh, you know, if I didn't take it, it would be like the worst case scenario. Because, you know, it's just, I feel like I just, without sounding super cringy, just kind of know myself. I feel quite like settled in. I don't know, I feel like a bit more, like I know what I want to do. I know what I want to know more about, and I don't know, I just feel a bit more rounded, I feel like, than I would have been before. It really does help that my house, so like my flat or my flat even, everyone is between the age of 20 and 23. I don't know if that was done on purpose or not, but it has definitely made me feel just a bit like, I worry that if I was in a house full of 18-year-olds, would I feel a bit old, a bit out of it? But with this, like my flat's a really nice age and everyone's kind of doing the same stuff, and yeah, and so that doesn't seem like it's affecting me. Like the age thing doesn't seem to be affecting me as much as I thought it would. And yeah, I just feel like I kind of know myself a bit better. What's been your favourite part of uni so far? I don't know. Like I don't know whether it's like a funny night out or like going to, you know, I got to a really amazing, for one of our GP placements, you can do home visits. Home visit that I went to was a patient who had just given birth. And so listening to the patient and seeing like their baby and all of that was so exciting. It was such like a prestigious moment. Like I felt like that's such a private, intimate moment in someone's life. To be able to kind of talk to someone about that was amazing. I don't know. There's nothing that stands out as like this has been the best bit. I don't know. I've just been really enjoying it, which I think is a good thing. What are you struggling the most with? Fairly good question. I feel like that's true. What have I been? I think at the start I felt a little bit lost in terms of how to do work. Like after like, cool, I finished my lectures or whatever for the day, I come home, what now? That can be a bit tough. I think also maybe making friends, just because I feel like that's natural for everyone. Just, you know, small things like at the start, like the first few weeks, you're like, where do I sit? And I always made a case of not trying to worry. Like I would come in to the lecture theatre and I would always automatically go for like the first few rows and just sit. And that was just like a thing of like, I don't want to stand around like looking for like one or two people I've spoken to before, especially when it's such a big lecture theatre and I'm like, oh no, everyone's looking, and like you're not, you've got like 5 minutes till it starts. But I think, yeah, definitely at the start is probably like, oh, you know what, just that thing of like, who can I talk to? Who would I class as like my friend right now? Now I'm like happy and I've got my great friends and it's all great and I feel very well supported. But I think definitely like the first few weeks I was like, oh, this is a bit strange, like I don't actually know anyone enough, like yeah. But I feel, you know, that's probably what everyone goes through. But yeah, no, that's luckily kind of been done with. How's Bristol as an area? Is it diverse? Really good question. Is it diverse? This was actually one of the things that was gonna not deter me, or just not make me want to go to Bristol as much as, like, because I really always have loved Bristol, but I think there's always that idea that Bristol is such a middle class university and such like a white university, and I was like, where do I kind of fit into that picture? And having said that, I think firstly medicine, I would imagine, is quite like a diverse course compared to other courses, and so like being in my course, it's not something like sticks out, I'm like, oh no, you know, I don't fit in here or whatever. Like I feel like it's fairly diverse. Could it be more diverse? Possibly, yes, maybe. That's, you know, that's what my 2 cents would be. And then in terms of the city, I don't know, it doesn't feel particularly undiverse. I don't know, like I haven't been like, oh, there's no one who's like an ethnic minority or something. Like it's, I don't know, it doesn't feel like that. I know there are pockets of Bristol, as with London to be fair, which are more diverse than others. And yeah, I feel like generally on the course it hasn't been an issue. I don't know, I would say the course is more like the course, if you summarize it, the majority are white and middle class, but I don't think that feels like an overwhelming majority. Does that make sense? I don't know. But yeah, I don't feel like it's been a super big issue. Yeah. What makes Bristol unique as a medical school? I don't know particularly about unique, because I don't know what the course is like in other medical schools. There is a fairly big like importance on medicine as art, and art as medicine. And so, for example, we had Foundations for Medicine conference yesterday, where we had to do a presentation, and then we had to make a poster, and then we had to do an art piece, and that was an art presentation team. And it's quite nice. It does feel a little bit not forced, but there's a lot of like, so we've literally had tutorials where the main thing is, okay, write a poem or short little haiku, come in, let's analyze this poem, let's look at it all in an artsy way. I don't know how many unis do that. Is it beneficial? I think it's quite nice, it's quite different, and so there is some truth in it, I do think. So, you know, that's a bit different. We've done like basic life support training, so like kind of first aid, we do that at the start of the year. What else is different? I don't know. You see patients really early on. Once again, I don't know if these things are unique, but these are things that I really appreciate. Yeah, and then I don't know, that those are the kind of things that are coming that I think might be slightly different than other unis. But yeah. Is it like how I expected it to be? I don't know, I feel like I said, I think I was worrying it was going to be really like heavy on biochem, but actually it's been really varied, and so it's been better than I expected. I think I was worried I wouldn't be able to cope at the start, but luckily I feel like I've kind of kept swimming and kind of kept on top of it. And does Bristol have any support network for students with any problems or concerns? Absolutely they do, and I think unfortunately Bristol has had quite a few number of cases regarding, you know, students' mental health and well-being over the last few years, and so I would say like it does feel I haven't had to use any of those support networks yet, so I don't actually know, you know, the quality and the efficiency of it yet, but I know that they're definitely there. From day one on our course, on our halls, they've been really kind of pushing, like, you know, if you do have problems, lots of signposting, things like that, you know who on your course you can talk to, who within the university. So I will say that our efforts there being made. I haven't used any of the services yet, so I don't know how good they are, but they're definitely there, and that's a really kind of promising sign. Yeah, that's kind of, I don't know, there's lots about interviews. I don't know, if you've got a Bristol interview, best of luck. I don't want to give anything too specific. I would just say, and this is general to all medical interviews, look on their website, look at the university and the course, how it's taught, look at the structure, look at what, you know, on that website they probably have things about it which make it like showcase their unique points. Look at them, learn them, love them. Generally just be really confident. I think I always say this, and I say it again and again, I really do think it's true. Don't think of interviews as a really scary thing where someone's looking out, you know, to look at all your negatives. Instead, I think acknowledge that you have worked so hard, and to get an interview is an amazing achievement, and take it as an opportunity for you to go to someone and it's you've impressed them. So be like, this is why you need me. Like almost like that. So almost like just like sell yourself kind of thing. You know, in my interviews, I would really like show off you've worked hard. Tell them all about your, I don't know, your D&V and your extracurriculars and your amazing work experience and the book that you read. Tell them, because you're full of it. Just be confident and be passionate and just say how much you want that place. That's kind of my general tips with interviews, not necessarily just med, but that in the past has generally worked for me. Just be confident and passionate, fake it till you make it. And yeah, that's my those are my questions. I hope that helps, hope that's answered some of them. Like I've said, I really have been enjoying it. I'm really lucky. I feel incredibly lucky to be here. And I don't know, I hope it stays like this. Hopefully not in like a month's time I'm like saying how much I hate it. But no, I really enjoy it, and I'm very happy to be here. And as per usual, thank you so much for all your support. It's been amazing. It's crazy how many people across Bristol, when I'm going for lectures or nights out or whatever, are like, oh, you're Manisha, I really like your videos, thank you, XYZ, and that's been really amazing. So thank you for still watching the videos. Thank you for all your endless love and support, and best of luck if you have any interviews coming up. My social media is @_Manisha P for Twitter and Instagram, and my YouTube is Manisha P. Subscribe to the student room, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.